Our next speaker is Lucy Griffiths, Senior Legislative Assistant for Congressman Chris Stewart, who is a member of the Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence in the House and a specialist on foreign affairs. Lucy.
Well, I feel like it was just all stated, so thank you. How Congress, the Senate, how we feel. So thank you for those comments, and also thank you for your bravery, for those that are here as family members, to be here and to share your stories. We greatly appreciate that. And then, as my remarks will predominantly focus on David, I must wish him a happy birthday publicly, too. What a interesting way to celebrate a birthday, but very grateful that we can be here to not forget him and forget his memory that brings us here today, and not just for him, but all those who have also been affected by this regime. So thank you. And happy birthday, David. I just wanted to give a little background on behalf of the congressman. And again, he wishes he could be here, but unfortunately it did not work with his schedule. So I get the honor. But he first became very familiar with David's case when he first entered office, actually due to a personal connection through his own son. The congressman's son was actually a friend of David Snedden's, and they actually interacted due to missionary service. So David had served in South Korea and then was in a capacity of teaching language skills to those that would continue with missionary service in South Korea. And it just so happened that the congressman's son was one who was going to be serving in South Korea, and therefore interacted with David in what they call the Missionary Training Center, where he was learning language and skills to be able to interact with the culture and to survive, I guess you would say, an international experience for someone that had never had that experience. So obviously showing that David was a very skilled linguist and also very adept. He's very adept at cultures. So that is the first connection with the congressman and why he became engaged, aside from obviously his responsibility as a member of Congress to be engaged on these issues. And then, as was mentioned, an expert in foreign affairs, that he took a personal interest in David's case, which led to, and it's been mentioned already, but I'll say it again, to the passage of a House resolution in 2016. There was also one passed in the Senate that was H-Res 891, expressing concern over the disappearance of David Snedden. The main goal with that, of course, is to keep the relevance of the case there, to make sure that it's not forgotten. And I believe that that can go without saying, that is not just the relevance of David's case, but also everyone else who is in the same circumstance. And as has been noted, it's affecting many countries. Many countries have been affected by the abductee situation. So the main three pillars of that was that the State Department would continue to investigate and consider all possibilities of explanation for David's disappearance. Second would be that they coordinate their efforts through the governments of Japan, South Korea, and China. And lastly, that they keep Congress and the Snedden family informed of those efforts. Through this experience with this resolution, Congressman Stewart was able to interact with various individuals at the State Department. He will tell you that he was impressed and grateful for the good work in which they did, especially in the beginning phases of David's disappearance, the efforts and the pressure that was put on the Chinese government to continue to investigate. But unfortunately, due to turnover of staff and also just the reality of time, the congressman felt that it had definitely fallen off the radar in terms of looking into other options and not just simply accepting the status quo. Again, why the resolution came to fruition. Congressman Stewart continues to share this concern along with all the other abductees, and continues to put pressure when possible on the case and the situation that is facing all of the family members here. I wish I had more to report on, to be honest. I wish I could sit here and tell you right now that we have some big breakthrough. That is not the case. However, as has been noted many times, these high-level talks and the increasing number of high-level talks that are at least becoming public make us hopeful that this is an issue that is continually brought up. Our President Trump, as has been noted, has brought it up, and we continue to pressure through the State Department and other opportunities. Congressman Stewart happens to be a good friend of Secretary Pompeo, to be able to pressure and continue to bring up the importance of this. I think it's important that it's not forgotten, and that's why we're grateful to be here today and to be able to commemorate that. I could continue on some of the efforts and collaborations from foreign affairs perspective that Congressman Stewart is engaged on. However, I feel like there was a wonderful synopsis that's already been given. No need to continue and repeat, but just know that, again, we appreciate the collaboration with the Japanese government. We appreciate the collaboration with all of those that have been affected by this situation, and as things evolve on the peninsula, the importance of continuing that collaboration as we move forward. Thank you.